Hello, I'm Darren Magee, and welcome to my mental health awareness and information channel. Today's topic, we're going to be looking at 7 signs of an unhealthy relationship, 7 signs of a toxic relationship. Now, this could be with anyone. This could be a relationship with a work colleague, with a friend, with a family member, with a partner, with a spouse. It could be any kind of relationship at all. But these are the signs to look for if it is a toxic relationship. Now, as we look at them, I think it's fair to say that we all behave like this from time to time and in different situations and in with different people or whatever. What makes it unhealthy and toxic is whenever this behavior is consistent. When the other person persists in behaving like this, even after they've been made aware of the effect that it has. So let's jump right in. Sign number one, there are a lot of rules. There are a lot of rules that must be obeyed. Things must be done a certain way at a certain time, using a particular whatever. There are a lot of rules. If these rules aren't obeyed, it causes a lot of distress, a lot of discomfort, a lot of arguments or whatever. There is a right way to do things. There is no other way. There is no room for difference. There's no room for preference. It must be this. Sign number two, there's a lot of guilt and shame. There's a lot of things like, look at what you made me do. This is all because of you. You ruin everything if it wasn't for you, and so on and so on. Someone may be behaving very overly dramatically, to show their anger, their frustration, their disappointment, whatever. But it's all aimed at having the other person feel very guilty about either doing something or not doing something. As ridiculous as it might sound, being made to feel guilty for not being able to mind read what the other person wanted. Um, a lot of shame over, who I am, where I'm from, the kind of person I am. And one of those situations, for example, someone goes get themselves a glass of water. The other person is saying to them, "Why didn't you get me water? You would never think of asking me. I'm sitting here dying of thirst, etc., etc." It's like there's no room for them to just say, "Do you know what? I'm thirsty. Any chance you get me a glass as well?" It's all about playing on guilt and shame. Okay, so the third sign, constantly checking up. Where are you? What are you doing? Who are you talking to? Um, Took you 10 minutes to go to the garage. Only took you 8 minutes last night. What were you up to? Who were you talking to? And so on and so on. Now, with today's technology, we can actually find each other very easily. Using our phones. Find a friend, things like that. We have little location things, our sat navs and so on. And in some ways that can be quite helpful and quite useful. In other ways, it can be very controlling. It can be very intrusive. Now, a typical claim from someone who's constantly checking up on the other person can be, "I don't trust you. I don't believe you. You're always acting suspicious. If you've got nothing to hide, give me your phone. Let me see who you've been talking to." When actually the truth is, we all need space. We all need privacy. It's not necessarily that we have anything to hide. I often look at it this way, if you've got nothing to hide, why do you close the bathroom door when you're in there? What are you up to? Of course, we all need a level of space. A lot of the time, the constant checking, it can come down to another person's insecurities, but it's still not nice to be on the wrong end of it. So, sign number four, isolation. Toxic people often tend to isolate people. Don't really want them having a support network. I think sometimes it's a way of making the person, the victim, if you want to call them that, dependent on them. I think sometimes the thought of them having a support network, having a friend network or whatever, having friends and family and so on, these other people may point out how unhealthy that behavior is. They may not want someone to have any kind of contact with anything or anyone but themselves. Again, in reality, in any relationship, regardless of the relationship or who it's with, we all need to be able to connect with others. We have other friendships, other relationships, other interests, and so on. When we become isolated from that, when we tend to lose that, we tend to lose a sense of ourselves. We need other people to reflect us, to bounce ideas off, and so on. The sign number 5 of an unhealthy relationship: constant sabotage. Doesn't matter what it is. You might want to be going for a job, you might want to apply for a job, and that person in the office gives a less than a glowing reference, picks up something innocuous, something you maybe did or said 3 years ago that proves you're unworthy of that role. You may be saving for a holiday for a new car. The other person keeps finding things they have to spend the money on. Maybe you're about to go somewhere, you're going out to a party or whatever. An argument starts. An argument starts to maybe ruin the mood, or maybe a mysterious illness, a headache suddenly comes on, so you're unable to go. Sabotage is one way of keeping another person in a constant state of strain, unfulfillment, and disappointment. Sign number 6: double standards. Earlier on, we were talking about rules. The rules may apply to one person, they don't apply to the other. I guess it's like that old saying, do as I say, don't do as I do. Other people they may know more, they may have more insight, they may be cleverer. I know more about this than you, and so on and so on. It's okay for me to behave a particular way, it's okay for other people to behave a particular way, but it's not okay for you. And lastly, sign number 7. You think of everything we've talked about up until now, you can put this pretty much under the umbrella of this last sign: control. It's all about having control. In an unhealthy relationship, one person is constantly trying to control things. Now, if we're honest, we all need a level of control. We need to know where we're going to sleep tonight, where our next meal's coming from, that our loved ones are safe, and so on. We need to have a level of control. But there is something really unhealthy whenever someone is trying to control everything, everyone in their immediate environment, and so on. Any free will, any autonomy on another person's part is met with resistance, it's met with distress. And even if someone is doing very kind things, really good things, really nice things, things that the other person might benefit from, might like, it's done in a way that it's still taking away their autonomy. It's taken away their choice, as if that person knows best. And when that person who's trying to exert a level of control, when things don't go their way, when they feel a lack of control, they become very angry, they become very anxious, they become, go into a downward spiral of depression and so on. And they're doing it in a way that they're saying to the other person, this is all your fault. Look at what you're doing to me by not giving me what I want. So they are 7 signs of an unhealthy relationship, a toxic relationship. There are many more. Things like neglect, disagreeableness, and so on. There's so many. So if there's any you can think of that I haven't mentioned, please mention them in the comment box below. If there's anything you would like me to cover in future videos, please again leave a message in the comment box below. Please subscribe to my channel for further updates and information on mental health awareness topics, okay? So until next time, thanks for watching.